Guys, the word of the Lord that I'm hearing today is stop trying to show them and leave. Stop trying to show them and leave. You know, outside of this coronavirus, a lot of you would have been going back and forth to that church, to that place where you're no longer welcome, to that place that they're playing games, and you're going in and you're going to show them that they can't put you out and that you're not being effective and that you're going to be your best self and you're going to live your best life. And you're going to prove the pastor wrong and you're going to prove this and that. And God is saying, He's shown you something. He's showing you something. But you need to stop trying to show them and depart. There are places that you fit in at the time. In some places you have learned some things. That was where you grew. That was where you needed to be at the time. But the place to where God had placed you, it was just temporary. Just like when Joseph and Mary and baby Jesus went to Egypt, it was just temporary. Just like when Moses ended up being in Egypt, it was just temporary. And sometimes, listen, you had to go there because it was a matter of life and death. Where you were at in your life at that time, you needed to be there. But guess what? That's not where you're supposed to stay. There comes a time that there's a call that God has on your life and things get uncomfortable. You don't fit in anymore. Okay? The conversations are not going as smoothly. They're not as ecstatic to see you anymore. They're not as accepting. And while you may look at certain circumstances and situations to say, oh, well, this was the beginning of it and this is how it started, the truth is the water is getting troubled because it's time for you to go. When Joseph ended up in Egypt, you see, his brothers thought that they were getting him back. And so he went to Egypt. But it was for a certain period of time. He was there for a specific time. He was there for a specific time. Now, when he left there, he died and he had his bones to be removed with the children of Egypt, with the children of Israel, when they were going to the promised land. But he was there. Even his dead bones was not supposed to stay there, my brothers and sisters. So the Lord has put it in my spirit to say, stop trying to show them and go. Stop trying to prove stuff to people. Because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to take down the head of that church. You're not going to take down the head of that ministry. You're not going to take down the head of that organization. Because that's not what God's called you to do. He's shown you some things. You have learned some things in this place. But sometimes you're not realizing you are just there temporarily. And you feel like you need to stay there. So you go there and you suit up and you armor up and you get your reinforcements in your mind, mentally, spiritually, just to go to church. Just to go to a Bible study, just to go to choir practice, because it's taking work. There's all this game and this subliminal stuff that goes on. There's indeed a lot of spiritual warfare that's going on in the church because they don't do a lot of things outright. And that's what makes it even more dangerous. It's worse than if somebody come up to you and just tell you how they feel and maybe slap you in your face. But when you go into church, they want to play the game because it's demonic. It's a demonic game. Demons does not manifest themselves. Don't you know that? You'll feel stuff and you'll get their energy through puppets, through people that they use. But the tactic is demonic. Demonic will let something else happen and keep their hands behind their back. So that's why it's spiritual. They play a game. They do these little games of, I call it guerrilla tactics, guerrilla warfare. You don't know who is who. You know, the cute little girl with a ponytail in her head in guerrilla warfare, if you're in that type of war environment, you're deployed, that nice lady, that nice old man could have, an explosive on him. A cute little kid that you're looking at as a kid in any normal environment, that child is set to detonate and take out, your whole squad, your whole platoon. So we know they're not going to put bombs on kids in church. But what we're saying is you don't know who is who. The person that looks innocent and harmless, sometimes they have attack. They have an agenda, as with guerrilla warfare. So what goes on in the churches is it's a very demonic thing. That's why you feel it. That's why they won't do things outwardly to you, but they play these little games and set people against you. So you will feel it, but they do it in this way. It's very covert. So you feel like it's you because they deny it. My brothers and sisters, that's a lying, deceptive, python, serpentine spirit. Okay? This coronavirus is going to lift very soon, and very soon the churches will be opened again, and very soon a lot of these places are going to be open again. You're going to find yourself doing what? Going back in there, reinforced. Do you think that God has put you in this place of rest and separation, and hopefully you have been getting in his presence and getting to know him, just for you to go back to a romper room, to go to the daycare, the glorified daycare with a cross on it? No, ma'am. No, sir. God is saying, stop trying to show him. Stop trying to show him and leave. It's time for you to move on to the things that he's called you to do. He's calling you to greener pastures. He's calling you to bigger things. It's time for you to grow. You're not going to grow in a place that you're fighting all the time. You're not going to grow in a place where they're trying to dig you up out the ground, and destroy your roots and throw pesticide on you through games. You're not going to grow there. So I hear the Lord saying that. Stop trying to prove it. Stop trying to prove him. Stop trying to show him. And it's time to leave. It's time to move. Some of you, this is happening in relationships. And God, some of you, you have the avenue. But you still trying to show something. You still trying to prove something. A lot of you still hoping. You hoping he or she will come around. You're hoping that if I just, the thing the enemy has done has twisted the word of God so much that people believe if I just stay here and keep on giving them all kinds of loving and this and that. No, you're being destroyed. You're being destroyed. So the word today, my brothers and sisters, stop trying to show them and leave. And leave. Y'all know who you are. Time to move. Time to move on to the things that God has for you. This is the word of the Lord today.